Okay, review for similarity. So here we go. This is while attending the carnival, you estimate the ratio of children to adults. So I like to write this. C to A is 2 to 1. There are 180 people total. Okay, so how many children are in attendance? So there's a couple ways to do this. One way is to say, okay, well, if the ratio of children to adults is 2 to 1, then the ratio of children to people is going to be 2 to 3. And this 3 came from the 2 plus the 1. Okay, it's this 2 plus the 1. So you can solve it this way. You can say, okay, 2 over 3, so children to people, and we're trying to find children, and we don't know how many people. So 3x is equal to 360. We divide, this is equal to 120. That's one way to do it. The other way is to say if the ratio, if I give you the two parts and the whole, I know it's not going to be 2 children and 1 adult. It's going to be 2 times the number of children plus 1 times the number of adults is going to be equal to 180. And these numbers have to be the same. That's how we got the ratio of 1 to 2. So this would be 3x is equal to 180. We divide by 3. X is equal to 60. And the number of children would be 2 times 60, which would be 120. So either way, it's going to be 120 children. Number 2, I'm going to change the color here. A triangle with a perimeter of 63 feet, has side lengths extending the ratio of 6 to 7 to 8. Find the side lengths of the triangle. Okay, so I know 6 times some number plus 7 times some number plus 8 times some number is equal to 63. We're not going to use 180 for this one because we're talking about the sides of a triangle. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. So we have 21x is equal to 63. Divide by 21. Divide by 21. X is equal to 3. So I know one side is going to be 6 times 3, which is 18, 7 times 3, which is 21, and 8 times 3, which is 24. And you can add these just to make sure that they add up to 63. If you did something wrong arithmetically, they won't. It says right from least to greatest. Make sure you have your units. So it was 63 feet. So one side is going to be 18 feet, then 21 feet, then 24 feet. Profits in the business should be shared by 3 partners, 3 to 2 to 5. So my ratio is 3 to 2 to 5. I know the total profit for the year was 176. So it's one of these where you do 3x plus 2x plus 5x is equal to 176,500. 5, that's going to be 10x is equal to 176,500. Divide by 10. X is equal to 17,650. Determine the number of dollars each partner would receive least to greatest. So the first one would be 3 times 17,650. Which is 52,950. Okay, then the next one, there's another one that would be 2 times 17,650, which is 35,300. And the last one is going to be 5 times 17,650. Which is 88,250. And you're going to write it from least to greatest, so it's going to be 35,300, 52,950, and 88,250. Okay. For this one, it's the two triangles are similar. Solve for x and y. So for this here, things that I know. I know 24 this side over this side is equal to this side over this side. Okay, because they're similar. So I know something like, I know 24 over y is equal to 36 over 36 radical 2. Okay, one of the things that you can do before you cross multiply is you can simplify. These 36's divide out, so that's 1. So when I cross multiply, I have y is equal to 24 radical 2, and that's actually your answer for y. X, on the other hand, is just a little bit different. I'm looking at this part. It would be good to, this one's actually super simple, yeah, it should be super simple. I actually am trying to, it would be good to know this part. Some of you will find the obvious. If this is 36 and this is 36 and they're similar, then this side right here is just going to be 36 minus 24, which is 12. Okay. But if you have a hard time with it, you could do 36 over x equals 36 over 12. And the obvious answer is, of course, that x has to be 12. So you could do whole side over bottom part equals whole side over bottom part. But you're still going to get the same thing, that is 12. And just because it's an isosceles triangle. So again, y is equal to 24 radical 2. X is equal to 12. First, you have to determine whether or not these triangles are similar. If these are parallel, this is not the only way to do it. I know those angles are congruent, and I know these angles are congruent. So I know things like triangle JKL is similar to triangle MNL. And just be careful with the letters. And the last thing it asks you is it asks you to find the length of LM. Well, if these two are similar, I know 16 over 4, okay, JK over MN is equal to JL over ML. So JK over MN must be equal to JL over ML. Okay, JK is 16, MN is 4, JL is x plus 18, LM is x minus 3. And so we cross multiply. It's going to be 16 times x minus 3 is equal to 4 times x plus 18. I distribute. Make sure you distribute. That's the biggest error that students make with this. This is 16x minus 48 is equal to 4x plus 72. Okay. I subtract 4x, subtract 4x. So I end up with 12x minus 48 is equal to 72. I add 48 to each side, which is 120. So I have 12x equals 120. I divide by 12, divide by 12. X is equal to 10. It's not asking for x, though. It's asking for LM. LM, and I guess I should use a different color. LM is equal to 10 minus 3, so the distance from L to M, it has to be equal to 7. So that's that one. Okay. So you're given in this case that these two triangles are similar. You're given the perimeter of one. You need to find the length of the other. So this isn't that bad. What you have to do first with a problem like this is, I know the perimeter is equal to 108, and I'm trying to find FD. Now, I know side over perimeter equals side over perimeter. So I know for this one side is 15 over the perimeter, which is sorry, it is not 108. The perimeter of my smaller triangle is equal to 15 plus 40 plus 35, which is 90. So it's going to be 15 over 90. So side of the small over perimeter of the small equals, we're looking for the side of the larger, which is FD, I'm using X, over the perimeter of the larger, which is 108. And you can just cross multiply to solve. So that's going to be 90 times X is equal to 15 times 108. Okay, so 90X is equal to 1620. Divide by 90. X is equal to 18. And so your answer, don't forget your units, is 18 centimeters. Okay, this one here, this is the key, is it says that these two parts are congruent, so you really don't have to overthink this. If these two parts are congruent, then these two parts have to be congruent because both sides are going to be proportionate because the lines are parallel. So this is just pretty simple. It's 2x plus 1 equals x plus 7. X is equal to 6. We have 3y minus 8 is equal to y plus 5. So I subtract y. 2y is equal to 2y minus 8 is equal to 5. I add 8. Y is equal to 2y is equal to 13. When I divide by 2, y is equal to 6.5. So, and you're going to put your answers in. It's going to be x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 6.5. So, give me just a moment. Out. Okay, so for this here, you need to make sure okay, so for this next problem, I'm just going to caution you with this one's a little bit dicey. Anytime you have these two whole sides, now these two triangles are similar, and I'm going to say, okay, this side over this side, okay, is equal to, you can't just say this part over this side, because this is not a whole side. It's not going to be proportionate. It's not going to have that same relationship because you're missing a whole part of the side. So one of the first things you need to do, and you need to do it properly, I did it improperly the first time, is you actually need to add these sides. You need to add x minus 4 plus x minus 6. X plus x is 2x. Negative 4 plus negative 6 is negative 10. Okay, so when I do my comparison, I'm going to say this side over this side, so x minus 6 over 6 is equal to 2x minus 10 over 14. And I have to cross multiply. So this is going to be 14 times x minus 6 is equal to 6 times 2x minus 10. I do distributive property. 14x minus 84 is equal to 12x. 12x, that's supposed to be a 12. Pen's not working very well. So 12x minus 60. Okay, I subtract 12x from each side. I have 2x minus 84 is equal to negative 60. I add 84 to each side. I have 2x is equal to 24. I divide by 2. X is equal to 12. Okay, so that's the first part. X is going to be equal to 12. And once you know that, you plug it in because you also want to find ST. So you plug that in for X. So that's going to be 2 times 12 minus 10. Okay, which is 24 minus 10, which is equal to 14. So ST is equal to 14. Okay, and that's that one. Okay, so a triangle has side lengths of 12, 18, and 22. This one's actually, don't overcomplicate this. So we have 12, 18, and 22. It says find the perimeter joined by the 3 mid-segments. Mid-segments join the midpoints. So if this side is 18, this has to be 9 because the length of the mid-segment is always half that, the side that it's parallel to. This one here, if this is 22, then this side would be 11. And last but of course not least, this side is 12, so this would have to be 6. And so to find perimeter, I'd add up all the sides. 9 plus 11 plus 6, which is, so the perimeter would have to be 26. And there's no unit, so you can just write 26. Number 10, if 2 figures are similar, all of their parts are proportionate. So all I have to do is I can do altitude over side equals altitude over side for this. So my altitude is 35, my side is 50. My altitude, I don't know on the other one, my side is 16. And even if you set it up differently, just like any of these, when you cross multiply, you should get the same thing. So this is going to be 50 times x is equal to 35 times 16. Okay, so that's 50x is equal to 560. And I have x is equal to 11.2. And so that's your answer, is 11.2. Two triangles are similar, so I'm just going to draw 2 triangles that are similar. The lengths of the sides of the smaller triangle are 3, 5, and 6, and the length of the longest side of the largest triangle is 18. It says what is the perimeter? For this, side over perimeter equals side over perimeter. I know this side of my larger. I'm trying to find the side, the perimeter of my larger. I know the corresponding side, the large side of my smaller triangle is 6. The perimeter of my smaller triangle, I just add up all the sides. So 3 plus 6 plus 5, which is going to be 14. So it's going to be 6 over 14 is equal to 18 over x, let's call it. I cross multiply. You can cross multiply, or you can realize 6 times 3 is 18. So the perimeter of the other one is going to be 14 times 3, which is 42. Or you can cross multiply. Or you can do 6 times x equals 14 times 18. Okay, so 6x is equal to 252. And I divide by 6, and x is equal to 42. And it doesn't give me units, so 42 is an acceptable answer. Last one, Wilmington Beach, Ash Grove are all parallel streets. Distance from Wilmington to Ash Grove. So Ash Grove along Kendall. So Wilmington to Ash Grove along Kendall is 880 feet. It says the distance along Magnolia is 550 feet. If the distance between Beach and Ash Grove, so Beach and Ash Grove, this distance right here is 300. It says, what is the distance between the two streets along Kendall? Okay, and so what we're trying to find is this one right here, okay, between Wilmington Beach on Kendall. Oh, wait, sorry, that's Magnolia. Just mislabeled it. Okay, sorry, I put that over in the wrong place. This is 300. We are trying to find this distance here. So it's just going to be 550 over 300, so whole part over small part equals whole part over that small part. And so it's just going to be 550x is equal to 300 times 880, which is so 300 times 880. 550x is equal to 264,000. And so my answer is 480. Do not forget your units. It's going to be 480 feet. And that is it for the review. So hopefully that